Ford Mustang Mach 1, and it looks absolutely incredible. The Mach 1 replaces the GT Performance Pack 2, the Bullet, and the GT350 in what is a perfect Goldilocks combination of all three cars. Now, Ford claims this is the most track-focused and capable 5.0 Mustang ever, so I'm excited to get behind the wheel and see what this thing is all about. Under the hood of the Mach 1 lies a 5-liter naturally aspirated V8 that now makes 480 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. That power boost is thanks in part to borrowing the Shelby GT350's intake manifold as well as throttle body. It also borrows its oil cooler that apparently runs the oil 50% cooler than the Mustang GT. Now, the engine is mated to two different transmission options. We've got a 6-speed manual and a 10-speed automatic. The best part is the manual is borrowed from the Shelby GT350. It's a Tremec unit, and it is absolutely a dream to drive. It replaces the terrible MT86 transmission that was found in the Mustang GT. Transmission was so bad that Ford actually ended up into a lawsuit over the trans. Yeah, that's a true story. 0 to 60 miles an hour in the Mach 1 happens in a brief 4.3 seconds. It goes on to run the quarter mile in 12.6 seconds and eventually onto a top speed of 168 miles an hour. Now, the Mach 1 weighs 3,800 pounds, but despite that, Ford claims it can reach 22 miles per gallon on the highway, which is pretty decent for a big V8 powered car. But one press of the accelerator, hearing that glorious soundtrack and feeling the brutal acceleration of the Mach 1, and you're gonna forget all about fuel economy. The Mach 1 looks absolutely badass. It's got this massive, mean-looking front splitter and these two circles that hark back to the original 1969 Mach 1. This particular color is known as Fighter Jet Gray, which not only looks badass, but it's a really cool color name. That comes as part of the $1,250 appearance package that gives you some really cool orange accents and graphics, as well as orange calipers. Coming around the side of the Mach 1 reveals these gorgeous, upgraded, wider 19-inch wheels that are part of the $3,750 handling package. That gives you wider wheels with Cup 2 tires on it, some of the best tires in the world, that measure 305s in the front and 315s in the rear, giving this car a ridiculous amount of grip. The handling package also gives you retuned suspension and aero bits like the front splitter and this massive rear wing that helps improve downforce by apparently 22% over the Mustang GT. Now, behind the wheels are these massive 6-piston Brembo brakes in the front, which are capable of stopping the Mach 1 from 60 miles an hour to 0 in just 96 feet. For a random comparison, the $1 million plus 918 Spider stops just 2 feet sooner. Pretty impressive for a Mustang. The rear end of the Mach 1 is incredibly aggressive. That's thanks to some borrowed parts from the Shelby GT500. It's got the GT500's massive rear diffuser, which is super good looking and effective. It's also got the GT500's rear wing as well. Now, all the way at the bottom, we've got this massive chrome quad-tipped exhaust that's valved and actually comes with a quiet mode. In case you're waking up early in the morning and you don't want to annoy your neighbors, it's actually really quiet in quiet mode, as you'd imagine. Switch it into track mode and it sounds absolutely insane. The interior feels very traditional Mustang. You will note, however, that there are no seats in the back. That's for weight savings because, of course, this is a track-focused car. Now, if you do want to have seats in the back, you can option them back in. These are the upgraded Recaro seats. They're manually adjustable. They hold you in place really well, and they're actually quite comfortable. If you want something even more comfortable, the premium package comes standard with cloth seats that are both heated and cooled. These ones are the ones to go for. The cabin isn't overly fancy, but that isn't the Mach 1's reason to be. This is a track-focused toy that's fun in the canyons and that is also comfortable enough to drive around on a daily basis. They do have some cool optional creature comforts, however, like a 12-speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system in a Mustang. It's pretty awesome. One of my favorite parts of the Mustang's interior is the 12-inch digital display. In normal mode, it's got 2 round gauges, one for the tachometer, one for the speedo, and you've got some information in the middle as well. But if you put it into track mode, you get this horizontal, really race car feeling tachometer that looks like something straight out of the Ford GT supercar. Now, speaking of different driving modes, we have a ton to choose from. With this toggle switch here in the center of the dash, we've got normal mode, we've got snow and wet mode that gives you more traction, less throttle response, it's good for inclement weather. We've also got Sport Plus mode, tightens up the handling a bit, and the suspension. Then we also have track mode, my favorite mode. It gives you a little warning that says for track use only, so be careful with that because it's got a little bit of limited traction. But how American and Mustang is this? Click it one more time and we are in drag mode. Yes, it has a drag strip mode. Once again, it tells you for track use only, but you can actually adjust what RPM the car launches at. Right now, it's set to a 3,000 RPM launch control. That being said, I have gotten better launches doing it manually instead of using launch control. Considering the Mustang Mach 1 is all about the driving experience, let's take this for a drive and see what it's like out on the road. Finally, the Mustang with the 5-liter has a worthy transmission. This is the Tremec unit from the GT350, and it is absolutely glorious to drive. The throws are incredibly short. It's really easy to shift gears. The clutch isn't too heavy. Honestly, it's a really easy to drive manual transmission, both when you're driving it around town slowly in normal mode and at full throttle in track mode. This transmission actually has auto rev matching, so if you're not as good at driving a manual transmission, look how easy downshifts are. Once I push in the clutch, it auto rev matches for me. I'm gonna slot it in from 3rd gear to 2nd gear, and it's a perfect downshift every single time. Now, have no fear for purists, and for most of the time driving, if you're more experienced with a manual, you can turn off the auto rev matching, which is nice. I'm glad it's not permanently on all the time. Now, we also have what's called no lift shifting with this transmission, which means instead of having to come off the throttle in between upshifts, you can actually stay pinned to the floor and just push in the clutch and change gears at the same time. It actually takes a little bit getting used to because, well, I haven't driven a ton of cars with no lift shift, but it is definitely a fun feature. The Mach 1 rides incredibly well thanks to its trick suspension. Around town, super comfortable over bumps. You could totally daily drive this car. It doesn't feel like it gets upset or off balance on bumps. And then when you flip it into track mode, the suspension stiffens up and it has virtually no body roll, making it amazing in the turns and around the track. The suspension is so good in different conditions thanks to the fact that the Mustang Mach 1 uses magneto-eological dampers, which is one of the most difficult words to say in the automotive world. In layman's terms, this means there's magnetic particles inside of oil, inside of each of the shocks, and when an electric current is sent through the shocks, the fluid actually changes viscosity. This can happen up to 1,000 times per second and can make the shock stiffer or less stiff depending upon the electrical current inputs. A really, really cool suspension setup, and it makes it drive like an absolute dream. We've been driving way too slow for a sports car review, so let's kick it up a notch. This V8 sounds incredible, and it is silky smooth all the way up until redline. It absolutely wails at you and kicks you in the back hard. This car is fast. We get so jaded with numbers these days with cars pushing over 1,000 horsepower, but at 480 horsepower and this car's curb weight, it feels really, really quick. And honestly, it's the perfect amount of power for the car's chassis. You can explore the limits and accelerate full throttle in the car a lot more than you could in something like a GT500. So we're cruising around in canyons. This thing is absolutely amazing. It feels really balanced, and it also doesn't feel like it's trying to kill you. It doesn't immediately start to oversteer. In fact, the initial point at which it loses grip, it actually has a tiny bit of understeer, and then it's pretty neutral through the rest of the corner. But man, this thing inspires confidence. And those Cup 2 tires, I'm so glad that they equipped those on the Mach 1, because it just provides limitless levels of grip. The speeds at which you can go around corners in this thing is really, really impressive. And it's just an absolute blast to drive. Sure, you can get it with a 10-speed automatic transmission, but I don't know why you would do that when this transmission is honestly one of the best manual transmissions that you can buy today. Even with traction control all the way off, it really struggles to break traction, which is amazing from a performance standpoint and a safety standpoint at the same time. Sure, it's rear-wheel drive, but it doesn't feel like a scary car. It is just fun, really fun to drive. These seats hold you in place so well. The spacing of the pedals is really good. And like I said, this transmission is just an absolute blast to drive. Steering feel is nice as well. In track mode, it's nice and tight. We don't have, you know, GT350R's level of communication in the steering wheel, but you do get some good feedback, and you can feel those front wheels transmitting through that steering wheel, and you really do know what this car is doing and about to do at all times. Then you flip it back into normal mode, and it's just easy. It's chill. You still get good engine note, but you can drive this in traffic no problem at all. It's a really difficult car to stall, so if you are learning how to drive a manual, I'm not immediately suggesting that you go out and buy a 480 horsepower Mustang to learn how to drive a manual, but you could in this car genuinely and learn really, really quickly, because just such an easy car to drive. Also love in the interior, we got that Mach 1 logo with the chassis number on it, and cool trim as well throughout the interior. But overall, I'm really impressed with this car. I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't realize how truly good it was going to be. This feels like what the S550 generation Mustang should have been all along. It's kind of unfortunate that they had to go through that whole MT86 transmission stuff, but they fixed it. This car is actually amazing. The car starts life at just under $54,000. This one, expect with almost every single option on it, is just under $64,000, and you really are getting a good performance car for the money. And it's comfortable, and it is semi-luxurious in here, especially you get those upgraded speakers. Now, the multimedia system is nothing to write home about. The graphics are okay. It's relatively responsive, but it's not some stunning display by any means. Everything just works well in this car. Good job, Ford. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section below what your favorite Mustang of all time is, and if you think this is a massive improvement over the Mustang GT Performance Pack. All right, guys, I look forward to seeing you next video.